right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. Tell me, what message do you have for our new volunteers about their role in your court?
Well, first things first, I want to thank them for agreeing to be a volunteer, because volunteers in this situation make it, in my opinion, it's so invaluable that we do have a CASA, especially when it comes to the CPS cases, because these are children that have not had a voice, whether that be at home or whatever environment they've been in. And everybody tries to look out for their best interest, but as a CASA volunteer, you are truly the eyes and the ears of the court. You don't have any other agenda except what is in the best interest of the children. There is not a bureaucratic agenda. You are truly there to help advocate what is in this child's best interest. And that is invaluable for someone in my position to be able to rely on someone that doesn't answer to anybody except what's in that child's best interest. And so I am eternally grateful for you being a volunteer and buying into this program. And I believe your first question was, what message do I have for new volunteers about their role in the court? So, first and foremost, it has to be about the child. It can't be about you, can't be about me, it can't be about the caseworker. It has to always be about the child. And honesty is key. This is an adversarial process. There are going to be times where you are not going to agree with me. You're not going to agree with the department. You're not going to agree with the ad litem. You're not going to agree with the parents. And sometimes you might have a difficult position to where the child definitely doesn't agree with what you think is in that child's best interest. But that is your role. Your role is to be the guardian of this child and to advocate for that child as to what that child's best interest is. And so you have to have a strong backbone, and you have to be willing to step up and willing to voice your opinion as to what you think is right for this child. So that's what I expect.
All right. So what's the most important thing you want to know from the CASA volunteer? When you call on them, what do you want to hear from them?
I want to know, first, are there any medical issues or special needs that need to be addressed? I would like to know how the child is doing in the current placement. I would like to know any effects that the parents' actions may be having on the child, whether that is a good or adverse reaction. For instance, if the child is having adverse reactions after visits, and maybe some insight as to why that is, and that you might not know, but just that kind of information as to not necessarily are the parents complying with their service plans, because that's something the department is going to definitely educate the court about, and the attorneys for the parents can educate the court about. But whatever actions the parents are or inactions that the parents are taking, how is that affecting the child? That's what I want CASA to tell me.
Okay. So how does the CASA court report help you get a clearer picture of the child's situation, maybe as compared to the CPS court report?
Well, I will let you know that I do read the CASA reports either the day before or the morning of the hearing. That is a good way for me to refresh my memory. We do have a lot of cases, and so it's a good tool for the court to refresh its memory on the case. A lot of times what I will do is read the summary of events that have occurred since the last hearing. That's kind of what I pay attention to the most. So that's very valuable, that section. And I also value the recommendations. A lot of times the department's report is pretty cookie cutter, and that's okay. You're checking the boxes, and that's good to know. When you need to know where to look for a specific piece of information. It's easier to find. And it's more detailed, not only towards the best interest of the child, but also as to the parent's success towards that family service plan. So the CASA's summary is very valuable, and their recommendations to the court as to what this court should do in regards to placement, in regards to visits, in regards to whether or not the parents should have supervised, unsupervised visits. Those are all things that the court would like to see in the plan.
All right. How important is it for the CASA volunteer to attend and participate in the court hearings?
Well, I do think that it's very important for the volunteer to attend. Like I said, I do read the reports, and so I definitely take that into consideration. As for active participation in the hearing itself, as long as their recommendations are consistent with the report, then I do not expect them to speak up and just to talk. Mm-hmm. They can rely on the report and say, Judge, we filed a report. It's consistent with what you've heard here today. Our recommendation is still the same. However, if there are issues that are new that have been brought up that may be contrary to what's in the CASA report, or maybe just a new issue altogether, if the CASA has an opinion, then I would like to hear what your opinion is, and I'll definitely try to do my best to give you an opportunity to express that to the court at the conclusion of the hearing. Again, you do not have to if it's consistent with what your report is, but you're more than welcome to, and I welcome that.
All right. This wasn't on the list, but it's something I'm asking everybody. Is there anything that you would like to advise the CASA volunteers to never do?
Stay professional. Again, it's an adversarial process. Don't take anything too personal. I know when you're involved with children, you tend to become vested emotionally. You put your time and effort into it, and you develop a bond with these children, and it's natural to feel that way. But you also have to understand that at the end of the day, this court, the attorneys, they are making decisions based upon a snapshot of information that we may or may not have as clear a picture as the CASA volunteer. So just be mindful of that. We all want to do what's right for this child. We're all human, and we are going to make mistakes. CASA is going to make mistakes. The department's going to make mistakes. So keep that in mind, and don't let it get too personal, because you are going to have future cases, and you don't want your previous relationships developing biases towards how you treat people going forward, because that impairs your ability to work with those same people on future cases. I will say this, that I always want CASAs to not be afraid to speak up and tell the court what they're feeling. Sometimes the facts may point to decision A, and your gut feeling just tells you, decision A just isn't the right thing. And I would like to know that. I do it all the time. So it's okay to go with your gut, because there is some discretion in the law called the best interest of the child, and that comes into play in every single case that I hear. And it's okay if you have a gut feeling that says, Judge, decision B or avenue B is in the best interest of the child, and let me tell you why I think that. And that's okay. So,
all right.
I guess that's anything else?
Good advice. Very good advice. No, that's all of my questions. Thank you so much for your time and
thank you.
Advice and your support.
And if you
for the
need
program.
any follow-up questions, let me know. I'll be happy to jump in. I look forward to seeing the new class tomorrow.
Well, we hope so. Hopefully you'll get to see us in person soon. We look forward to that. Thank you.
I did get that Zoom meeting.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.